to the Aviation Channel. Today we're going to be flying the Cessna 172 SP, also known as the Cessna Skyhawk, and we're going to be landing this plane at Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha or runway 34 right at Seattle Tacoma International Airport. Okay, so the way we're going to do this approach is by using the autopilot to make an auto land ILS approach. Okay, so we're going to use the ILS beacons, I believe, on the runway, which stands for, so ILS, if you don't know, stands for Instrument Landing System. So there's systems on the runway, and these two instruments here basically give you guidance so that you're on the correct path to the runway. Okay, not only vertically but also horizontally. Okay, so if you just saw there, if you haven't, just rewind about 5-10 seconds. But look at the instruments, they've moved. Okay, it's just trying to give me guidance to a runway, and I'll start heading towards the runway because I'm going to go to runway 34 right, but I'm completely opposite where I'm going to land, so I'm heading about 170, but that shouldn't matter too much, isn't it? Okay. Oh yeah, and before starting the landing, make sure you tune into the nav frequency of the runway. So in this case, to land at runway 34 right, Seattle Tacoma International Airport, you'll put on the nav frequency to 110.30. Okay, as you can see here. If I can get in there, if I can get in there. But anyway. This is Xplane 10.5, I believe. But in the next update, which I believe is Xplane 10.6 mobile, we will have a fully functioning Garmin 530 and 430 system. I'll make a video on it once the new update comes out and I start playing it. Okay. I think at this stage, don't know if I should start trying to, if I should start actually turning to make the ILS approach. In fact, why don't I do it? Okay, I'll start off by turning 90 degrees to the right to 260. Okay, so this to this setting, so 90-degree turn, and the autopilot will do its job. In fact, I'll turn on the nav and approach button so that right when the computers of the plane catches the ILS instruments or beacons on the ground, the plane will auto land towards the runway. Okay. Okay, I've made 90-degree turn, and I need to see where the runway is. I can't see the runway. It's gone somewhere on my right, isn't it? Let's see over here. Okay, that's perfectly fine. And as you can see here, oh gosh, there. The hell? Okay. Okay, as you can see here, this heading, button, it's automatically turned off. It's not showing in display anymore. So if I try and change the heading, like manually over here, nothing seems to happen. So the plane's pretty much caught the gyroscope towards the runway. And since I'm new into making YouTube videos onto the Aviation Channel, I'm trying my best to improve the quality of my videos, and don't know what's happened there. Where's the plane taking me? I'll reduce my throttle. Okay. Well, let's see the map. What the hell? Where is it taking me? Where the hell is it taking me? Okay. Put my throttle up. Fact. Why don't I go to this heading and make the aircraft turn right to the heading 340. It's confusing why the plane would do that. I don't know if there's a bug in the game or if the autopilot's doing its job correctly. I'm not a qualified pilot, that's all you should know. At the moment, I'm only 14 years old. Okay, so... Well, the thing is I can't even see the runway unless I go to a map. Okay. It's unusual. Upon have an approach. Oh, and apparently in the next update, not only will the Garmin 530 and 430 work on the Cessna 170 SP, but also on the McDonnell Douglas MD-80, the FMS system or the flight management system will work on the McDonnell Douglas MD-80. I'm very excited, which makes me believe that there's going to be a fully functioning cockpit in the MD-80 in the next update. It'll be coming very soon. Okay, there's the runway. I can see the runway. I think. No, I didn't see the runway. That's false fact. Let's see over here. Okay. So basically, when making ILS approach, make sure. Okay, so this one here is for nav 1, and this one here is for nav 2. But anyway, let's look at nav 1. We have 2 lines. Make sure that both lines are lined up with those dotted lines in that instrument. So the horizontal lines should meet perfectly with the horizontal dotted lines, and the vertical line should meet the vertical dotted line perfectly. That way you make a perfect approach towards the runway. Okay, yeah, it's called the ILS. It's called the ILS. They're making a nice approach towards the runway. And then just before we touch down, well, not right before we touch down, but somewhere before we touch down, we're going to put down the flaps, reduce our throttle slightly, and then we're going to do some proper approach procedures, sort of. But I can't wait for this sort of horrible, I mean not horrible, but boring, almost unusable Garmin system here to actually become fully functional, so that I can go into the menu system over here, like program waypoints, and I have had a practice on the Garmin 830. I can't remember. I think I can't remember what Garmin system was, but the Garmin 530 and 430 simulator, you can download on the Garmin website, but you need Windows XP or before Windows XP to actually be able to use the simulator, which sucks. Okay, as you can see, just look at this. Okay, look, that vertical line has met pretty much perfectly with, well, the vertical dotted line, and that horizontal line will slowly get to the sort of center. And so at the end, you'll see a sort of plus sign. Okay, but we have aligned with the runway almost perfectly. And we're actually we're proper descending, yeah. Our rate of about 500 feet per minute. Oh yeah, when the autopilot is engaged, basically the auto trim works by itself. That way the aircraft will fly smoothly and efficiently. Okay. If you can see the runway, there's the runway. And I'm trying to make new style videos where I make PowerPoint presentations on, for example, the aircraft instruments, so that you can understand how to use these, how to understand these aircraft instruments more easily. Because episode 2 of the Cessna 172SP, honestly, I wouldn't say that was the best explanation that you can find on YouTube. So I'm actually making a video on how understanding the aircraft instruments of the Cessna 172SP, and hopefully you'll be able to understand it more easily then. But hopefully by now you haven't gone into some other YouTube channels watching their videos on the aircraft instruments. Okay, there's the runway. You can very easily see it. Okay, if you see over here, look at this. It looks like plus sign, and both lines have met the sort of, let's say, center. Okay, in fact, the vertical and horizontal line are sort of like crossing each other and meeting each other at the center. Okay, and over here, nav 2. But nav 2 is more to be used with when tuning into VOR stations. Okay, so VOR stations, you can sort of find the location of them, well, more easily, and find the distance to them more easily, I believe. Not completely sure. I think I need to do a bit of research on that. Anyway, we've got more than enough fuel. Fuel can be seen over probably this game. Okay. So I've got plenty of fuel. So I've got about it's about 13 gallons of fuel. I got on both tanks. So I have a combination, a total of 26 gallons of fuel. Okay, if you add the amount of fuel I have on both left and right tank. Oh gosh, I need to reduce pond flaps. Look at the trim wheel, working very hard. Okay, I've got throttle all the way down. Is that going to be enough? Yes, it's going to be enough. Okay. Put the throttle on half. And the flaps, they produce a lot of drag on the aircraft. But I think it's okay. And these flaps produce lift on the aircraft. At this stage, since the Cessna appears to not be completely stable just before landing, it can't really touch down, in my opinion, perfectly. All I'm going to do is disengage the autopilot and I will hand fly the aircraft to the runway. The sort of thing you might do when you're doing flight instructor training in a typical Cessna 152 or Cessna 172. Okay. And if you have three red lights, you're quite low to the runway. Okay, and you should gain altitude. If you have 4 red lights, you're very, very low to runway. At this stage, I don't really care. Okay, I'll just maintain my altitude somewhat. But if you have 3 white lights, you're a bit high. If you have 4 white lights, you're too high for your approach. Okay, and if you have two white lights and 2 red lights, that means you're sort of like perfectly on the sort of approach to a runway. Okay. I'll put the brakes on a bit hard. Okay. Yes. Okay. There. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Okay. The thing is, I'm just wondering where to actually. I'll put the flaps up. Where am I actually going to land? I mean, well, I've landed, but where I'm actually going to park and taxi my plane. Because Seattle Tacoma International Airport is mainly made for commercial aircraft, for commercial airplanes. And this Cessna is nowhere near a commercial airplane. Oh, look. Delta and Alaska Airlines over here. Should we just park at Delta? Oh, and in the previous airport episode, like how I landed, and instead of bothering with taxiing the aircraft, I just flew my aircraft towards the sort of, I tried to take it to, this place over here, parking the one of the hangars over here, and I flopped. Okay, just watch my previous episode. Okay. I'm sure I can go through that. Okay. I am technically inside this whole hangar. Yep, I'm inside the hangar technically. It's sort of, I believe, inches away from. It doesn't matter. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video if you liked, of course. And please share my YouTube channel to friends and other people. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next time on the Aviation Channel.